So a couple of things to talk about. So I think it's been quite a while since the last update. So thanks to you, those of you who sort of take the time to listen to the updates. I do appreciate that. Got three guests, I think, coming up over the next few weeks. So, assuming all goes well. But yeah, they're booked in. I've got a physics guest, which is exciting. Also a philosopher as well, and two philosophers of mind. But pretty exciting stuff. If you're in the Facebook group, then you'll know two of them. The other one's a bit of a surprise, sort of last second arrangement. One other thing, this is quite exciting because I've worked in healthcare for most of the last sort of 20, 25 years in various sort of positions, analytics, sort of data warehouse, performance reporting, sort of data mining, trying to understand how hospitals can improve patient care and nursing and so on and so forth. And I've loved my work. I mean, some of the roles have been challenging. um, you've got to be quite sort of resilient in some of these positions because there's people coming for you, left, right, and centre for numbers. But it's a fascinating industry, and I've lived among us because I've lived on site at a number of trusts that I've worked at. So I've lived among doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, midwives, and so on. And they're an awesome bunch. The one thing that these people share is that they have some kind of ethical dimension to their lives. They do it because they love it. That's across the board in healthcare, as far as I can see. And I think the NHS is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen because it's free healthcare for all at the point of presentation, and you will be prioritised according to need, not social status or income or any of those things. You'll be treated according to the urgency of your condition. And so it's something to be proud of, when compared with, say, the American healthcare system, which basically just lets people die if they haven't got any money. So, I'm proud to have played a part in the NHS and done as little as I have, but because a lot of these roles are about statutory reporting, cranking the handle, keeping commissioners happy. But every so often you get involved in a position where there's actually some really interesting work going on with a specialty and clinical managers at the hospitals where they actually really need some data and insights. And so I've done some work on cancer waiting lists, winter pressures for NHS England. I work for a fantastic group called GP Care Group on Tower Hamlets Urgent Treatment Centre data. So trying to understand patterns of patient arrivals and so on, and shaping rotas accordingly. So anyway, the upshot of this is that given the kind of links with neuroscience, artificial intelligence, analytics, right, and reason, and ethics, right, because healthcare is about human suffering and trying to minimize that as well as we're able. I'm going to interview some figures from healthcare, some prestigious characters that have devoted their lives to technology, nursing, managing hospitals, treating patients, and so I'm going to do a series of talks on this area. It's kind of a convergence of my professional life with the channel, which for me the two have always dovetailed because my professional life is about analyzing problems and trying to solve complex or answer complex business and clinical questions. So I'm going to try and merge these two worlds. It's a great platform for both parties, right? I mean, I'm even wondering whether there could be some dotted lines between some of the characters I've interviewed and the healthcare, and whether Stephen Wolfram could help us build the perfect NHS system, or could he help us, or help the NHS implement large language models? So anyway, so there's some interesting sort of ideas in this space. Obviously, it touches mental health, touches social health, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So you can look forward to some interesting new guests, and maybe of no interest to you whatsoever. You might be more the hardcore philosophy, science, and free energy principle, and all that jazz. But in the healthcare bit, we will be talking about AI, the prospects for enhancing patient processes, and so on. And I mean, even actually doing surgery. So there'll be some cool sort of cutting edge technology stuff going on in there as well. I hope you're all well. Keep liking, keep subscribing. It really helps the profile, which helps it then spread further. Last few guests have been fantastic. The numbers are sort of rising. I think I've switched off monetization everywhere, obviously apart from the shorts, which YouTube just automatically monetizes. So hopefully you're viewing experience is continuing to improve. Love you guys. Speak soon. Take care. Bye. It's me again. Back because I forgot to do this other part of the update, which was to welcome aboard. I think it's 50 to 60 new members have joined the Chelsoph Facebook group. So hello and welcome aboard. Talk to myself or any of the admin team. So Arlindo, Luke, and a bunch of others. They're all on the welcome post. So just speak to us if you have any issues. Yeah, there's been some interesting new discussions, some radical new ideas introduced to the group, and it's fun to look at the responses from all the different members bringing their own areas of expertise to the table. So it isn't about necessarily whether people are right or wrong. It's just about kind of sharing our own unique perspectives on some of these concepts, right? Philosophical, mathematical, physicsy, and so on. We've had a couple of socials since the last update, which were very well attended. Numbers have gone down a little bit since it got colder, I've noticed. And also, we sometimes we lose members to a quiz night down the pub. So I'm thinking of doing it on a different evening, so we don't lose members to the quiz night. Clearly, some people are more interested in sort of contingent facts than deep understanding. So there's that. So welcome to all the new members. Check out some of the materials. Feel free to introduce yourselves, make a post. We do encourage members to get involved in media production as well. You might see that there's been some conversations, interviews between myself, InSync, Alexander, Arlindo. We're trying to do more. I've got one coming up with Alexander, who with InSync runs the Telos Ontos Eidos podcasts. Awesome characters. They're on the opposite side of the globe. They couldn't be further away, but for me, spiritually, they couldn't be much closer in terms of their intent and what they're trying to do. So yeah, I can't wait to talk to those guys again. And yeah, so obviously it's not essential, but it's great to get people on camera, stick it on the channel, stick it on your own channels, do whatever you want with it. But yeah, we're sort of building a kind of international network of thinkers, right? A bunch of us we've been chatting and debating, just theorizing online for quite a few years now, and some among us have been doing it for decades. I'm quite new to the whole experience. But it's fantastic. We're helping each other, we're lifting each other up, promoting each other, and more importantly, promoting reason as opposed to dogma and ignorance. So there we are. Have fun, everyone. Nice to meet you, and hopefully see some of you at the socials, and see some of you on some online Zoom stuff once we get around to doing it. Take care. Bye.